Hello, folks. I've been doing a lot of recording lately with a lot of great guests, both remotely and in the Defiant studio, and have had a couple topics that keep coming up when I talk to people both on the podcast and in some of the advisory and investing work that we're doing at Defiance. So I'd done a Solosode before, and I'm going to try a couple more of them, and if people like them, I'll continue to do more of these. So today I want to talk about a simple concept that so many people get wrong. And I think once I realized this idea, it really changed my life forever, not just in the business world, but in the gym, in personal life, and really in school was probably the first place where I realized how important this concept is. If you want to succeed at anything, you have to get in the game. Don't wait for perfection or to have managed every single risk or to know everything that might possibly happen and have a game plan for how to respond. You have to step up to the plate and swing. Swing hard, swing often, hone your craft along the way, be ready to pivot, but you have to start by getting in the game. If you're not at bat, there's no possibility of success if you don't get started. And I think this podcast is an example of me getting in the game. I know that I want to bring founder and investor perspectives to people in long-form interviews. I truly believe the people I interview are inspirational, and I think I understand their journey enough to be able to tell the story well. I realized this 2 years ago and did the minimal research I could to start recording. I figured out how to publish, and I sketched out a list of more than 70 people I wanted to interview. I then stack ranked them based on how likely I thought they were to be guinea pigs, and I wrote the first 20 scripts. And then I jumped right in. I made a ton of mistakes. I continue to make them. But I learned from them and pushed to make the podcast better every week. So it isn't that I did nothing and just started running around like a fucking idiot. I did a little bit of homework, but it's not like I had everything figured out. The point is I didn't wait until I had all the answers. In fact, I didn't know all of the questions to ask. And frankly, I probably still don't. But it doesn't matter. I'm a firm believer that you can only get better by making mistakes, and you have to play with live fire. Sure, you want to do a couple practice sessions that you don't publish and that you don't even record, or where it isn't with a real guest, fine. If that's a tactic that helps you, then do it. But the reality is until you get out there and put out a couple podcasts and see what people think about them, this would have never happened for me. In the same way, Chris Hart and I got in the game with Reward Summit. We knew that we wanted to build a product. We thought the market would embrace it. We didn't know how to build a mobile app. We didn't know how credit card affiliate networks worked, and we didn't know anything about digital marketing or consumer product design. But we started it anyways. We built the first version of the app, and it looked like shit, and it crashed all the time. We chased down my family and closest friends and forced them to install the app and use it and give us feedback. We then hired a firm that I knew to crowdsource the redesign and build of the app. It looked much better, but was still a piece of shit. We promoted that version of the app very publicly and scratched our way to 500 downloads. We recruited advisors who taught us lean methodologies and how to interview customers. We learned that our product user experience was fundamentally broken, so we hired a rock star designer, by the way, much younger than us. We didn't try to go find somebody with a ton of experience. We found somebody who actually knew what the fuck they were doing, and he worked his magic. At that point, Apple picked up our launch, and a few prominent bloggers wrote about the app. We got tens of thousands of users and actually broke our cloud service, which is a badge of honor when you're building an app. In that process, we learned a lot about infrastructure automation, or what you might call enterprise containers or platform as a service, DevOps, if you will. We didn't figure out how to make money with the Reward Summit product, but we learned so much about DevOps, product design and user experience, payments, consumer banking, mobile apps, and APIs. We could have never taken a class, frankly, to learn what we learned in that experience. Ultimately, we decided to shut down that product, and we created a firm that would dedicate itself to bringing our learnings about modern application development and marketing to the biggest and most established companies in the world. That company ultimately became Level, which was one of the fastest growing tech companies in the world and now employs over 200 people. If Chris and I hadn't gotten in the game, both with Reward Summit and later with Level, we would never have scaled to the heights that we did. Had we waited until we mastered all of the skills that were required to build either company, somebody else would have done it. And this thinking applies to literally every aspect of life. Don't wait for some imaginary event to happen that finally convinces you to try Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or Orange Theory. Don't wait for divine inspiration to join a yoga studio or take that cooking class. Don't keep adding on pounds because you need to find a diet that is 100% perfect for you. If you have dreams, you need to learn the minimal amount possible to make sure that you truly want to do it and know how to improve, and then get after it. Nike said it best, right? Just do it. So thanks again. I'll be recording a few more of these. Please give me your feedback on what might be useful in the future, or anything about my advice that you like or dislike. Thank you.